Good morning, Raptor Freaks. Alexiot's here, Monday morning. And so we're doing a Monday moment. And our Monday moment happened on Saturday when the Raptors circled back and signed AJ Lawson to another two-way contract for the season. It's a fantastic thing. It's something that we thought was going to happen, and we're just really happy. I value Canadians on the Raptors. I really do. And I feel like AJ, much like RJ, both really, it's not because they're Canadian, they're on our team. It's a great bonus. These guys are good players. And AJ Lawson has shown a consistency in different ways for the Raptors since he's gotten here last year. When we got him acquired from the Long Island Nets on a two-way last year, it's just been a really good thing. There's been ups and downs with inconsistency, but a lot of that was worked out on G League level with the 905 in the last year. But I've also seen him on the Raptors level do very, very well in playing within himself and not out of control, and having a consistency and a quality to his game when he's really playing within the boundaries of what he should be doing. So the problem with AJ is when you count on him to do too much and you have to make him a main focal guy, he can get a little bit high volume, low efficiency. That's not his fault. It's just that that's the way he kind of balls. But I'd like to see that in smaller amounts of minutes, he can really maximize being quality and not being so inefficient. And it's really like some of it has to do with his shot attempts. In Long Island Nets, he was relied on a lot for their scoring. So AJ Lawson would have like a 13 and 30 shooting night, or that's pretty good actually. He'd have like maybe let's say a 9 and 25 shooting night or something like that. And it's not that they need him to score. That's part of the reason why. There's nobody else to do it. It's kind of like Michael Porter Jr. on the Brooklyn Nets. So he's been in those situations before, and it's made him kind of look inefficient at times. But yeah, the strengths of AJ Lawson are amazing. He's one of the fastest players in this league, especially for his height, because in some ways he has little point guard speed with a guy at his height. That's actually really good because he's a really good chase down defender. We've seen AJ come from behind people and just run up real quick and like either block or just get in the defense to help mess up the shot. So the defensive side of him is absolutely very, very top notch. The way that he hounds people and the way he keeps on people on defense, the way he works in our trap system that Darko has is a good piece. And then you see him turn on the jets going on the break, and you're like, yeah, that guy's fast. Just like what you say. Now, another great thing is it's a two-way. So AJ's going to be playing for both teams this year. He'll be splitting time between the 905 and the Raptors like he did last year. And in some ways, he's the leader of that team in Mississauga because he's one of the older players that's on that team. And well, AJ's spent a lot of time in the G League in his career so far. But I feel like it's going to be a little bit more balanced this year between the two leagues. That maybe he's a little bit more G League than NBA last year. But for some reason, I feel like, out of the two ways, Elijah, Chucky, and him, he's the one who's going to get more time on the Raptors. Maybe Chucky. Maybe Chucky will get a good share too. But I could see AJ Lawson getting a bit more burn on the Raptors level this year. He's useful. That's the thing. He's useful. Not only that, we keep forgetting he has finals experience with the Mavericks when they played against the Celtics a couple years ago. And, he's got a track record in the NBA to a degree. So I'm really happy, Bobby, that you did this. In some ways, it's sad, the whole thing with fitness to play and Aldridge Shamshay, and that, having that spot open, the two-way for AJ to get in there. I mean, I guess if we're going to have a bad situation with Shamshay all of a sudden not being available, well, let's make ourselves happy and let's get our Brampton guy back. He's a bad man. That's right. A bad man. That's right. I love that between him and RJ. They're doing that Badmon thing. Badman. Yeah, it's cool. I like that whole thing because in some ways for those guys, once again, I don't have any doubt that the intentions of two of these guys that lived in the GTA growing up that were Raptors fans that came down to our arena and watched the team have only the purest intentions for the Toronto Raptors and what they're trying to do right now. And in some ways, it's like, it's tough to have devotion to your team and be like, yeah, I'm all in with the Raptors, like DeMar DeRozan said, because you can see what can happen with what's happened to DeMar DeRozan. You know, Siakam would have loved to be a Raptor his whole entire career, and he said that very publicly. It's tough to be devoted to a team and say that you want to be on that team, because in some ways, everybody knows what you want, and if you don't get what you want, then they feel like you lost. Nah, see, that's the thing. Real ones will profess how they feel, and they won't be afraid just in case they lose it. Now, RJ Barrett and AJ Lawson definitely want to be Raptors. And it's a good day that they are. That's right. It's a good day they are. All right, let's go, Raptor Freaks. And let's see what y'all are talking about this morning. Really wanted to just highlight AJ's return to the team for this year. And just in case anybody missed the memo, maybe they heard the cut last week, but they didn't hear that AJ got signed back. Well, here's your news break. That's right. It's right here for you. Let's go. Let's go. All right, let's see. Trevor J with the words of wisdom at the top of the show. Thank you, Commissioner Fun, Trevor J. I hope you're having a great Monday morning so far. He's saying integrity isn't situational. It's who you are, especially when no one's watching you. Don't get the flip it on and off. You either live by your word or you don't. You either do what you said you would or you make excuses. There's no in between. That is the standard of life. By it. Yeah. I mean, integrity is an interesting thing. In some ways, integrity is in short supply in leadership right now. And that's the thing that I would talk about. In some ways, people are getting bad leadership, so they're acting out and being stupid themselves. I mean, I'd agree with this, man. You want to be a true person, an authentic person. If you're putting one foot forward as, a police officer, and then you're at home abusing your wife, that's no good. If you're putting one foot forward as a televangelist who professes God on TV and asks for people's money, but you're doing sin all over the place behind the scenes, yeah, that's no good. That's not being your true authentic self. That's being a two-faced grifter and just kind of like, yeah, they're not good people, because in some ways they may be expecting other people to hold the standards that they think they should, and they're not holding those standards themselves. And there's a ton of people running around like this in leadership and power right now that are jokers and absolutely have no integrity. So thank you for your words of wisdom, Trevor J. I appreciate you, man. I appreciate you. Let's see. Trevor's saying this. Happy for AJ to be back on the Raptors. Yeah. I think most Raptors fans are happy about this news. Some people, I think the two people that people were reacting the most to when the cuts happened last Thursday were Shamshay and Lawson. That Raptors fans were like, why AJ? Why Shamshay? I wrote Shamshay a message this morning. I went to his Instagram. I wanted to see what was happening because he's been quiet. We haven't seen jack shit from Shamshay since the cut last week. And he has wiped this page of Raptor stuff, just so y'all know. He has already wiped this page of Raptor. He has some pictures of him getting to the Raptors and stuff, but he has a picture of himself with LeBron, and he doesn't identify himself on any team at this point on his Instagram. Now, I wrote Shamshay a message. I said, Ulrich, I wish you the best. I hope that you get healthy. Whatever's going on, we support you and we care about you, and we just want you to be well. But then I also warned him. I said, but please do not make the same mistake as Christian. You can see that he's not getting anywhere on the Lakers. You make the wrong mistake, and if you get cleared to play and you can come back to Toronto, you need to come back here and finish your work, because you can see what's happening with Christian. They're spinning his wheels, and he's not getting anywhere with his development. So don't make the same mistake, Ulrich. If you get cleared, you need to come back and say hi to Bobby and talk to him, Rich Paul. And if this is the whole grand design, once again, of another clutch client just trying to escape Toronto, whatever it is, some people on Reddit are trying to say that this is because African people have proclivity to get some sort of blood clot. Maybe, maybe they're trying to make up some bullshit. Oh, it's because these African guys went to Canada or something like that. It's cold and it did something to their blood or something like that. There's all kinds of bullshit being put out there and said. Until they tell us exactly what Ulrich's medical condition that isn't allowing him to have fitness to play, we shouldn't totally speculate on what the issue is, because we kind of learned some things from Koloko. Let's just put it that way. But we'll see. We'll see what happens with this. I did my part. I sent him a message. I said, look, you have a friend named Koloko that you've seen this path happen to already. So be smart about this. Now, if this is, you don't care. You're like, haha, laughing at you, Raptors freak. I just wanted to get the hell out of there. Well, we'll just see how this all goes down. But understand, it's not a good decision to leave the Raptors when you're a 19-year-old and you're developing still. And you want to go to any team in the league. Well, you can see what happens when you go somewhere. You'll find out, Shamshay. You'll find out. Maybe Koloko found that some of the grass is greener in Lakers land for some reasons, but other ways it is not greener. And you will probably find that, especially because most of the teams in the league are not run like the Raptors. And you'll see different flavors of it in different places, but you may be like, wow, this isn't kind of the same. Like the Raptors would do this and they had this, and wow, wait, this place is not as nice. You may find that, Shamshay. So you need to be careful about your decisions when you get cleared, because I know you will get cleared. I feel like this is just some convoluted bullshit to steal players from the Raptors. And we'll just have to see how this all shakes out with Shamshay, though. Yeah, Trevor J saying this. New York Knicks fans want RJ back, saying he's a better player and better scorer, and Raptors should make a trade for Josh Hart and Robinson for RJ. Yeah, they're delusional. They're idiots. RJ don't want to play for y'all. He does not want to play for y'all. Y'all were a pit stop. Y'all were a development camp for RJ. Yeah, you know what? You weren't a normal development camp. Not like us, where we take a young player and like develop their skills and get them to new levels like Fred VanVleet, Norman Powell, OG Anunoby, Pascal Siakam. No. You're a development camp for hardening someone in a fucking high pressure situation. And that's what y'all did for RJ. You made him into a diamond. You put him under hard pressure. And you know what? He's gleaming and glistening so much brighter. And y'all hear what I say on this channel. And that's why you're circling around saying this shit. You heard me say this last week, that RJ Barrett's playing the most consistent basketball he's played in his entire NBA career. And he's playing defense too. And now y'all want him back. Y'all mistreated him. Let's just put it this way. If Kendrick Lamar could say you never deserved DeMar DeRozan here, well, we could say you never deserved RJ in New York because you guys mistreated him. You talked shit about him. Half your fans were fucking toxic as hell towards him. Your press was unfair to him. And you know what? He's happy to be home. So, yeah, that ship has sailed. You think that RJ Barrett wants to come back to you? You think Bobby Webster's an idiot and he would trade RJ for that package? Yeah, Knicks fan, keep dreaming and understand that ship has sailed. And you know what? This just proves to you that our team is better at getting players, better things out of players than you are, because we got RJ to this. And, well, it's just what it is. And in some ways, you ain't getting them. They ain't happening. That's right. They can laugh at them, Trevor. It's funny. It's funny. Yeah, so he can help them win a championship. Yeah, it's all about you guys, huh? You're going to find out this year. Just like I said in my thing, I may have put y'all at number 1 in the East, but you're not going to get anywhere with a championship. Y'all are going to fail in the playoffs. We'll just have to see how this whole season shakes out. It hasn't even started. But I can already write the plot lines for some of our teams that we're playing against this year. And the Knicks are, well, they'll have pretty good stuff going. We'll see the transition to Mike Brown, if it's smooth or not. And, well, toxic stuff underlined. Rick Brunson, Cat. We'll just see how things go this year. Let's just put it that way. And I'll tell you what, y'all may have had an upswing last year and a good year last year in your last year of Thibodeau. And this year is not going to be as good as last year. And you'll be like kind of comparing Thibodeau to Mike Brown. And y'all will probably hate Mike Brown at some point this year. I'm telling you right now, Knicks fans are going to turn on Mike Brown at some point because that's the hardest team in the league to coach. And it's special. It takes a special person to coach the Knicks. And they had a special person that could do it, but they fired him because it wasn't good enough. Yeah, Knicks Nation, you're toxic. You're toxic, man. You're toxic. Trevor J saying a fan showed up wearing every single Ingram jersey. That was wild. Yeah, didn't we say this yesterday? Didn't you say this yesterday? You said this yesterday, didn't you? G saying this. Game 7. Let's go, Blue Jays. Happy for AJ. He's earned it. All right. You mentioned the Blue Jays, so it's time. It's a beautiful day in Toronto. It's a beautiful day in Toronto. Could a Game 7 be mine? Would you be mine? I've always wanted to get to the World Series with the Blue Jays again. I would like to see Vladdy Guerrero ding another homer out of there. So let's make the most of a beautiful day. Go down to Rogers Center and play. Could you be mine? Would you be mine? Won't you be a World Series berth? Yes. Hello, Raptor Freaks. Welcome to the Blue Jays Freak section of the show. I just like to say, let's go, Bieber. Let's get out there and kick some ass, and let's beat the Seattle Mariners today. And we'll punch our ticket to Ohtani and the Dodgers. And I hear that if we do win today, game 1 of the World Series will be on Friday. And that will be something else. Now, I don't want to get ahead of today, but if the Blue Jays do get in the World Series, I love the matchup and I want to see it. I want to see it. So don't mess around, Vladdy. You apparently have tied most home runs in the postseason at a Blue Jays record, tying yourself with Joe Carter and Jose Bautista. And I couldn't be prouder. And I'm sure that old Vlad Sr. is proud too, man. It'd be fun to watch the Blue Jays games with Vladimir Guerrero Sr. Because, man, I wonder what he's saying watching his son do what he's doing right now. Let's go, Blue Jays. Let's get this game 7. What a fantastic sports day in Toronto. We got a game 7 in the Major League Baseball playoffs at the Rogers Center. And woo-wee! I think it's going to be raining today, so that dome might be closed. But, yeah, let's go, Blue Jays. That's right, G. Let's go. Blessed morning, y'all. Good morning to you, Herbalus. Yes, blessed to you, bro. Thanks for subscribing, and thank you for being here, man. Anything you want to talk about? Let's go. Let's go. All right, let's see. Who else is in here? We got Michael Edwards. Michael Edwards, good morning, man. What's up, Lex? M. Jones here. Oh, okay, M. Jones. Good to see you, man. It's been a little bit. Just under a different name. Love the last material to your reaction of Shamshay. After hearing updated news, it is a relief that it seems Bobby still wants him on the team. You've heard this. You've heard that Bobby does still want Shamshay to circle back. Okay, good. Good. I just hope that, once again, this isn't some sort of weird underlying sanction by Adam Silver and the NBA on the Raptors for building a pipeline of talent with Masai Ujiri to Africa. And, that's right. That's just for us. New York fans can get New York pipeline from New York playgrounds. Canada will get Canada pipeline from Canadian playgrounds here to Toronto. This is just influencing relationships. Masai Ujiri is from Nigeria, and in some ways he has people over there. And, well, he knows Shamshay. He knows Koloko. He knows Siakam. What's the big deal here? Why were we not allowed to have this connection, and Ujiri had to be dismissed by Rogers this year? I don't get this, man. It's like some ways, Rogers, don't you want your team to be good, man? You're going to have Shamshay on your team. Well, they won't. The Raptors Freak, it's not up to me, man. It's the NBA said he's not fit to play. Well, this is fishy as fuck. And I don't know exactly what's going on. But I do like this news that Michael's saying here, that he's saying that Bobby has made it publicly known that he does want Shamshay when he's cleared coming out. I wonder if there is some protocol. There should be fitness to panel play. Seriously, NBA, Adam Silver, you should make the rule that when a team loses a player on the fitness to play, they have the rights to him when he comes back. And then there's no like weird shit where they're a free agent and they can just go wherever they want. That's the thing that's convoluted about this shit and the thing that happened with Koloko. So that's the thing I would say, Adam Silver, because this shit don't look fair. And if this goes the same way that Koloko did, man, I'm going to be crying foul on this one, man. It should be the right of Bobby Webster to acquire Ulrich Shamshay back if the fitness to play panel clears him to be able to healthily play. And that's just what's right and just. We spent the draft pick on both these guys. We spent 2 draft picks on 2 centers from Cameroon. And it's just not right if we get robbed of them in underhanded ways by a medical panel. And I'm just sick of it. That's right. Michael's saying, lastly, let's go Blue Jays. Let's go. That's right. Let's go Blue Jays. Let's go Blue Jays. That's right. Let's go. Fiercey's here. Good morning, MJ. Good morning, fam, and happy Monday. Happy Monday to you. Randolph is here. Good morning, Randolph. Let's see what he's saying. This is the words of wisdom from Randolph Phillips. Morning blessings, beloved Raptor Freaks family. Always respect others, even though you do not know their qualification, position, or title. Often the disrespect cost is too high. This is an interesting thing. I would say this. Some of the flashiest people in the world will wear the gaudiest stuff, and they're really not that important. They'll act like they are. In fact, they'll put on that stuff just to act like they're more important. No, you would be surprised. Some of the wealthiest people in the world dress like bums. You may be out in public and you may be hanging around somebody and they're absolutely very, very rich, but they don't look like it because they're not wearing the clothes. You'd be surprised. You'd be absolutely surprised. I would say this. Nobody should be judging how they treat people by the way they're dressed. Nobody should judging people how they should treat people by anything like race or gender or age. Nobody should be judging how they should treat people by their job. That's another one. There's a very famous saying is I treat this janitor the same as the CEO. And that's the way to go. Seriously. Because listen, we're all human beings when it gets down to it. And what we're finding out right now with the division that's trying to be sowed by racists in the White House right now is that they're full of shit and that we have way more in common all around all of us, even the dumbass low IQ MAGA people. At some point, you're going to realize that you have more in common with the people that you hate than Donald Trump. And what's going to happen is, we're going to have to get to a point where the division just doesn't happen anymore. There's a world that they're talking about right now that could be possible where there's no politics anymore. Yeah. That politics is just a made up game to keep us divided. And that if we throw the whole idea of political parties out of our governments, we could actually maybe solve some of our problems. What if we just had individuals not affiliated with anything that just came with ideas and spoke of them? And there was no labeling. This is a liberal Democrat. This is a conservative. No, there's no labeling. It's just people come up to this podium and they speak and they say what they stand for and what they want to do and whether they like the ideas or not. There's no party system. There's nobody picking two sides or any. There's two sides pitted against each other because that's the powers that be has been the racket the whole time. Is ratchet up division, Democrats versus Republicans. But people are sick of this shit. And in some ways, they may wake up in the next year or so because of this division that's sowed by an idiot with AI dumping AI shit all over Americans. Like he's literally made a video yesterday where he shits on Americans and he's in a plane and he's wearing a crown. Yeah. What a fucking moron. What a juvenile moron. In some ways, the messaging of what you just put out, yeah, maybe you own the libs with the trolls and your little gross people. But most of the people that see that video are going to be like, this guy is a fucking idiot. He's demented and crazy, and he needs to be stopped. So there is a lot of people talking about getting rid of political parties. And let's let people stand up at the podium and just speak their ideas, and let's judge them for what they want to do and judge them for their integrity, like Trevor's saying. And then we'll get good leadership. And we could cut all this bullshit of red versus blue and all that other crap that they fed to us. There's a lot of murmurs about a new age world where there's no political parties and it's just individuals run on what they say. And if they do it, then we're happy. If they don't, then they get out of office because they lied. And we could fix this. We could get rid of all these lifetime politicians that people are so pissed off about, just living that gravy train and not doing anything really to help the people. We can amend the whole system. This guy's destroying the system right now. So in some ways, you get a blank canvas to start over. So let's see. We've got some power, people. We've showed it this weekend in the streets. 7 million people is a lot of people. I heard it was close to 8 million even. And so don't poo-poo those numbers. That's a serious, serious crowd. That's the historic biggest crowd that ever hit the streets in the history of the United States. Ever. That was the biggest crowd ever Saturday. Ever. And it'll get even bigger. And if you look at it next to his stupid ass little military parade that he spent $61 million on and paid people to go to, yeah, you see who's supported and who isn't. Donald Trump, you're so badass. You're so great. Go get those people in the street just like we did on Saturday. You can't do it because you don't have people like that. And that's just the damn truth. That's just the damn truth right there. Thank you for the words of wisdom, Randolph Phillips. Blessings to Phillip family and all the Raptor Freak families. That's right. Fiercely saying this. So glad AJ is back. He's definitely a spark off the bench and will help us Knicks fans once again coming hot with the Delulu. Yeah, whatever with Knicks. That, you know what? Trevor probably saw one guy write a comment like that one place. And this is probably not totally prevalent. It's probably just one dude that's like, man, I wish we still had RJ. Whatever. Keep dreaming, Knicks fans. Seriously, RJ's home. RJ's happy. And RJ wants to be a Raptor for the rest of his life. So, keep dreaming. Seriously, delusional is right. That's right. Smooth saying this. Ulrich was on. Was it on IMG? Go Blue Jays. What Ulrich was on in and out on. Was in on it, in my opinion. You think that Ulrich is in on it? That he doesn't want to be in Toronto and he's just being smiley and happy around the team. but he really is okay with the plan that Rich Paul's doing. That he's like, yeah, Rich Paul calls the fitness to play. Is that what happens here? Is that what it says? Rich, I was thinking about what you were saying, and I think I do want to go out of Toronto. Okay, Rich, I get you. Here, hang on. Yo, Adam, can you get that fitness to play going here real quick? Yeah, we're going to get Shamshay out of Toronto. I know you wanted to do that anyway, right? Yeah. Okay. All right. The news is going to break? Okay. All right. Bye. You know, shit like that. Is that what it is? Is that what it is, NBA? Is that what it is? Is that how it works right there? I don't know. That's pure speculation, dramatic interpretation. That's all that is right there. Cool Cat, good morning to you, Coach. Good to see you. Go Blue Jays. That's right, Reggie. Let's go. Isaac Campbell, hello, starting 5 Lex. Benevolent One, Ottawa. Let's go. Seymour Pate, checking in from Calgary. Let's go. We are countrywide here. We go East Coast, West Coast. That's right. That's what we do. That's right. Okay, Blue Jays. Let's play ball. That's right. Let's go. Blue Jays. Let's play ball. And game 7, baby. Woo! Vlad Guerrero said yesterday, I was born for this. Damn right he was. His father was like that. And he's like that too. And this man is going to come and get one of the greatest positions in Toronto sports history coming to him. If this man gets us to our 3rd World Series here in Toronto, woo-wee! Put your name on that list with Joe Carter. Put your name on that list with great Leafs. I'm not going to name any of them because I can't think of any of them top of my head right now. It's been so long. Put your name on that list with Kawhi Leonard and Kyle Lowry. That's right, Vlad Guerrero Jr. You want to be forever? You can be forever. Level of excellence. Nah, you want to be the greatest Blue Jay ever? You got a lot of time. You got a lot of runway to work that bat for a decade from now. Woo-wee! Let's see where you can go, Vladdy Jr. Yeah, make yourself a Toronto sports legend, young man, and go forward and get some more. That's what I say right there. Yeah, let's go, Vladdy. That's right. That's what I'm talking about. He was born to do this, Lady Gaga. That's right. Let's see. Here we go. Kenrick's here. Good to see Kenrick James. Kenrick Chronic Art James. RJ was good despite New York. I think that's fair assessment. I think this is fair. RJ Barrett was good despite being in New York. I remember my gut reaction when I saw that draft. When RJ got drafted to the Knicks, I said, oh, I feel so sorry for RJ. That's immediately what I said when I was watching that draft. And I saw RJ Barrett get drafted by the Knicks. I was like, oh, fuck, I feel sorry for RJ. He's going to the Knicks. Oh, I feel sorry for him. I felt pain for him. Seriously. Well, it's all good now because he's home. And that's what I'm saying right there. Knicks fans, nah. Just like Kendrick said, you never deserved him. You never deserved him in New York. I'm just saying that. If Kendrick can say that about DeRozan in Toronto, we could say this about RJ with y'all. Seriously, you never deserved him. That's right. Reggie's saying this. As much as he has the natural talent, I just never got the vibe he wanted to be a Raptor. Talking about Shamshay. I don't know. It was different. It's like he bonded really well with his teammates. It seemed like what the fuck? He's in the OVO center with Serge. Was this like a last minute pass by the Raptors? It's like Ulrich, I understand you're not happy right now. Can we do anything to help you feel more comfortable and happy here in Toronto? I don't know, Bobby. I really don't like cold, and I don't want to be here this winter. Come on. Seriously. You know, you can live in the path. You don't have to go outside. You can just walk underground and go everywhere. Like we're driving you. You get out of the car. You get in. You know what? Here, come in, Serge. Serge, this is Serge Ibaka. Ulrich, do you know Serge? He's a champion with the Toronto Raptors, and he's going to work you out today. Oh wow, Ibaka! All right, I'll do that. And say, what was that? What we were doing? We're trying to do a last-minute Hail Mary to get Shamshay like recruited here. It's like, hey, Serge is here. He's going to train you for a little bit at OVO. Yeah, what is this? What's going on here? I mean, I don't want to speculate too far. Like I said, this is just me talking out my ass right now, and Smooth saying this, but we don't know what his intentions are. Now, him wiping his IG so quickly, that is a little bit of a sign. Let's just put it that way. Him wiping his IG so quickly is a little bit of a tell. And if you go and do an interview, Ulrich, and you say, I'm looking forward to playing on my new team, well, we'll know you fucking want it out. Seriously. We'll know you want it out. That's right. All right, let's see. Smooth saying this. Considering the second instance, a center from Cameroon, he wanted this. You can't convince me otherwise. You think Shamshay wanted it? Well, the only thing I would say is there, and especially as an epidemiologist, or a demographer or a social scientist, I would say, is there some sort of correlation between Cameroonian centers and this problem with the fitness to play panel? Because that's an obvious thing to make a connection to, right? Because this is the exact same situation. A Cameroonian center is drafted in the second round by the Raptors. They come and play their rookie year, and then all of a sudden, mysteriously, they get put on the fitness to play panel by the NBA. So I would like to see why the methodology of what is what. Like, and I still don't totally believe the things that they said about Koloko and his blood clot issues and stuff like that. I don't know if I need medical records or something like that, but it seems like you could just make up shit and just convolute shit somehow. And in some ways, the Raptors have been a team that's kind of gotten the shaft, and nobody cries foul about it in all kinds of different ways throughout their history, whether it's having to play a whole entire season in Tampa or getting stolen of Allen Iverson or any of the other unfair shit that they've done to the Raptors on the down low throughout the whole entire history of the Raptors. Is this just another one? Is this just a weird Canadian tax? On the down low, also, here, you want me to get really conspiracy theory. They had a Canadian tax on us in the playoffs. Yeah, they'd always say, oh, they wanted to build that narrative that the Raptors always collapsed in the game one of every playoff series, because they did have a pattern for a while where they did lose every game one. And even when we won the championship, losing that game one to Orlando Magic, they were saying, oh, it's the Raptors doing what the Raptors do, losing the first game of a playoff series. They wanted to make that a thing about us. Now, how much of that was actually ref manipulation and controlling the game and kind of railroading us every single time just to make the narrative, just to make it harder for Toronto to get any ground on the playoffs? Let's build a whole idea of the Raptors have a problem winning the first game of their playoff series. That shit pissed me off, because in some ways I thought that they were pushing that more and more to kind of make it ensconced as reality and just say it over and over again. Oh, yeah, this is the problem with the Raptors. This is the problem. Well, did that problem exist after we beat Orlando? No. In some ways, yeah, sure. We may have lost a first round game to Philadelphia the last time we were in the playoffs, but the first game in the series, but we've swept the Nets. We've played we've played a lot of teams since, and this first game monkey on our back is off our back at this point. But yeah, there's all kinds of different ways they'll do different stuff. We'll be watching all this. We're going to figure this out. Chrissy's saying, wait, what? I have so many African friends who have lived many years in Quebec City, Montreal, Gatineau, and Ottawa. None have blood clot issues. I have huge communities also in Edmonton and Calgary, and those are way colder. See, I like this. This is fair and balanced. I mean, some people are going to just make up conspiracy theories and stuff, and I know I'm a little guilty, but I'm just saying we have to look at this with eyes wide open and think about, what is this? Is this an issue? Are they going to try and build a weird ass narrative about sickle cell this and Africa and Canada cold and bullshit like that? Well, what if he goes to play for Milwaukee? Is he going to be just as freaking cold there and have the same health issues? Oh, it's because he's in Canada? It's not because of anything else? Oh, see, that's what we're trying to figure out here and suss out about the Eldridge Shamshay incident. That's right. Seymour saying this: Kendrick Lamar just paid for students' lunch for 103 schools. Great gesture. Unlike someone spending money on people's baby moms, taking them on lavish dinners and vacations. All right. I see what Seymour is doing here. It's like, all right, we're going to look at Drake and Kendrick and see who's a philanthropist. Yeah, Kendrick's going to beat him probably, although Drake probably does do stuff that's helpful to people, but I can't remember hearing about any of it. Maybe he does it on the down low. Maybe he does little things like Trevor J. and helps out like moms in the grocery store that he thinks has a big butt or something like that. I don't know. Who knows what Drake's doing? He's probably not at the grocery store. But yeah, Kendrick, salute to you. And listen, it's never been about not like us, not like me, not like them, us and them. No, Pink Floyd. No, us, and them. We're all just ordinary men and women. That's what I'm saying. They try to divide us. And that's what I'm saying. Kendrick, I'm not mad at you, man. You can make a song against Drake. I don't care. I don't get offended. I don't think that it's about you're not like us as you're talking to me. I don't care if you're talking to me or not. I'm not offended because I'm a man who stands on my own. I don't care. But I love that you're doing this gesture for people. And in some ways, I consider you a real musical artist, unlike Drake. Drake can make some samba little beats and whine about his love life. Meanwhile, you're singing about things that matter. And so I have a little bit more respect for you. I'm not selling out on Toronto either when I say this, guys. I'm just speaking my truth to what I see. And you know what, Drake, you could get in my good books more and more if I saw you doing things like what we just heard about what Kendrick Lamar did. That's what I'll say right that. I'm not trying to get it between Drake and Kendrick, but when Drake went after Lamar, well, that was a problem for me. That was a problem for me. When you went after DeRozan, that was a problem for me, Drake. I was fully on your side up until then. But yeah, when you went after DeMar, that was not called for. That was not called for. Some of y'all disagree with me and say it was, but seriously, a person who's not a pedophile does not get upset when there's allegations like this. And somebody's like, you're being ridiculous and like blah, blah, blah. You get so mad and punitive. Well, maybe that note is hitting the piano right. That's why people, call the Trump certain things. He gets all upset. He's like, well, you are a racist piece of shit because you're getting upset about it. Well, Drake, you're getting upset about being called a pedophile. Well, that doesn't look good. That's not the action of an innocent man. Let's just put it that way. Yes, people saying dumb stuff. Goodness. I mean, it's just speculating in the absence of the facts and what's actually happening. We just don't know. We're speculating. And well, this is a world full of speculation. But sadly, some people take speculation as truth. And that's a problem in this world today. That's right. Hi, Candy. Hi. Shaq Lindsay's here. Thank you, Shaq Lindsay, for being a supporter of this channel as a member. I appreciate you, man. He's saying everyone talking about the trade for IQ and RJ was one-sided because RJ was a throw-in. I look at it as a steal because we get a top 3 draft pick and a certified starting point guard. Yeah, I always thought that we won that trade. I know OG had an instant impact for the Knicks, and he really did help them a lot, and they coveted him for a long time. But we got 2 starters for one guy. And that was huge. And they're both very valuable players. So Knicks fans, you go ahead and tell what you want. Quickly's going to blow up in a second. And in some ways, Quickly might end up being a better player than Brunson. I know some people say, what the fuck did you just say? Seriously? No. Seriously, I believe this. Because in some ways, Brunson's not as good a defender possibly as what Quickly's about to become. And when we see Quickly become more like he was in the last game, more and more, yeah, I'm going to start comparing Quickly to Brunson. And I'm going to start telling y'all kept the wrong point guard. That's what I'm going to start saying, y'all, New York. Yeah, get ready for that. When Quickly starts looking more like Tyrese Maxey on that level, I'm going to be saying, yeah, y'all fucked up. And, good to have OG. But maybe you're trading OG for Giannis this year anyway. I don't know. We'll have to see what happens this year with the New York Knicks. That's right. Let's see. He's also saying this. We have seen OG at his highest potential, but RJ is only 25 and IQ is now starting point guard on his own team. Yeah, the sky's the limit. This is why you don't trade potential, especially if you have seen it grow yet. Yeah. I mean, they're brilliant. They're brilliant guys. That OG trade was absolutely brilliant, if you ask me, as far as Masai and Bobby, partly because the Knicks are so hesitant to trade with us. Bargnani. Oh, yeah, Bargnani. And Dolan's still been burned on that. In fact, he was so burned on that he did not pull a trade to get Kyle Lowry because he was so scared. All documented facts, not speculation. This is all true. And, well, he did finally get the nuts to finally do another trade with us. And we still fleeced him on the down low, and he didn't even realize it. That's what we said, too. You can go back to the stream when we did trade OG. Now, that was a bad day. The day we traded OG was one of the worst days in Raptors history. I'm not going to lie. It's because we lost to Detroit later that day. And Detroit was the worst team in the league. And they had not won in a long time. We finally let them win again. And it was just bad. We traded and we had nobody to play. And we lost OG and people were sad. But you know what I was saying immediately on that day was, you know what OG likes? He likes scarves. Fleece scarves. And we started talking about fleece. Yeah, fleece. And, Knicks fans start getting weird. They're like, why are you talking about fleece? Well, I'll tell you this right now, Knicks fan. You got Malachi Flynn and Precious Achiuwa in that trade. You lost the trade. Yeah, you did. Because we got 2 starters, and they're going to be still starting for our team going forward. And both those other guys in the trade that you got are long gone from your team. And OG is, OG's great. Good job. You got OG. OG helps y'all. But then you went and got Mikal Bridges, which I'm like, why do you need both Mikal and OG? That don't make no fucking sense. But anyway. But yeah, OG led to more winning. Him and Hartenstein were a great combo, but you didn't keep Hartenstein. You wanted to collect Villanova players. You didn't keep DiVincenzo, even though. And it's like, yeah, the Knicks are weird, man. They shuffle up too much. They see a bright, shiny thing like Cat, and they're like, oh, no, make room for him. Well, I fully expect them to maybe destroy their team just to get Giannis this year, too. So yeah, it's an interesting situation revisiting the OG trade with new information on RJ. And think about it this way. Let's winders this shit. Maybe all the slagging on RJ Barrett in the last couple of years is from the New York media and the fans on social media because they don't want to ever feel like they lost that trade. So perception, they won't try and shape it to say RJ's not this, RJ's not that. We'll ignore him in the press. We'll ignore him on Bleacher Report. We'll ignore him on ESPN. And instead, we'll just make it seem like he sucks and just not talk about it. But the reality is shown on the court. And I said that this summer. I said, you all fucking say all you want about RJ Barrett. But what you'll see when he gets on the court in the 48 minutes in the 94 feet will tell you the reality of what it is. So y'all can say whatever the fuck you want about him. He's making his own reality, and he is his reality, not you guys and your fucking perceptions of him. So, yeah, I love it, man. RJ, you're good, man. Don't worry. We got you, and you got us. And I totally feel that with him, man. It's awesome. G saying this, Vladdy said, I was born ready, and I want it all for the city. Yeah, he's doing it for Toronto. He's a real one. And I mean, the crazy thing was we remember last year, earlier this year, I guess, there was the contract. Before he signed the contract, there was speculation that Vlad was going to leave. And I remember, Reggie, you were a little bit in your feelings because it was uncertain, the negotiations with Vladimir Guerrero Jr., and it was a little bit shaky for Blue Jays Nation. In some ways, it was not totally clear. But then he came through, and I love the whole fake. I mean, in some ways, this is another place where New York and Toronto are kind of button heads, where the Yankees really wanted to get him and probably want to spend all kinds of money. But he said, fuck you. I will never play for the Yankees. And I love that so much. I really do. And even though that hurts his leverage in some ways in the league, but it doesn't really. I just love that he's locked in for that kind of money for the Blue Jays here in Toronto. It's just a beautiful thing, man. So Vladdy, you really are a Toronto legend. And I mean, you guys have done amazing. Finish the job with Seattle today and go get World Series glory. That's what I want to see from that guy, man. That's what I want to see right there. I mean, he's born to do this, and he's doing it for our city. That's the stuff I want to hear right there. Yeah. Yeah. Smooth saying OG and Karl Anthony Towns for Giannis. That's the trade. I believe it'll happen. That'd be very interesting. I mean, I would say that may not be a bad trade for New York. You should do it. You should do it, New York. Yeah, you should do it. I would love to see that. Yeah, I don't feel good about OG going to Milwaukee, though, because Milwaukee's a mess. But at least he'll get to hang out with Gary Trent Jr. again. But I don't know. That's an interesting trade. I could see it. Raptor Champs is saying here, we won that trade. RJ already won the trade for me. IQ is my bonus. Yeah. I mean, for me, when we got the trade, I was so delighted. I mean, it really helped the hurt of losing OG. That was painful. That was tough, losing OG, Fred, and Pascal all within a year. It was tough because those were our champions, and we were losing our champion guys. But getting RJ come home, that really helped things right away. And in some ways, the feeling of RJ being on the Raptors just feels so good. It just really does. That's why the forces that hate us are out there putting more and more noise about RJ out there to try and rain on our parade or rain on our good feelings of having our hometown hero. So be aware of this, Raptors Nation, and don't parrot Raptor haters' talking points just because, oh, this person on ESPN said this about RJ, so it must be true. No, don't parrot the haters. And the haters are on TV, and they are at Bleacher Report. Yeah, they have a crazy article about Colin Murray-Boyles out, saying that they want to do a redraft already, which is stupid because didn't Colin Murray-Boyles, like, I'll go just look at this. Let me go look at it. Raptors Reddit reactions real quick because it's just stupid, man. I was looking at this yesterday. I'm like, what the hell is this crap? See, look, the Bucks have already cut their 33rd draft pick last year. Tyler Smith of the G League, he is out. He is no good, man. Where's this one with Colin? It was so stupid. That's like, all right, here it is. The preseason redraft by Bleacher Report has put Colin Murray-Boyles picked 15 by the Oklahoma City Thunder instead of 9 by the Raptors. And instead, they say the Raptors pick Hansen Young at 9 instead. And it's really dumb what they wrote here and stuff like that. They said something like, they're just shading on us once again. It's just stupid. There's just so much misinformation out there. In fact, here's another one. The ESPN has 2025-26 NBA season preview out this morning, 2 hours ago. And let's see what they're saying about the Raptors this morning. Where do they have us ranked in the league? They put us at 22nd in the league, right? They put us at 22nd. And honestly, they got the Lakers at 10. How about you flip those? Put us at 10. You could put the Lakers at 22nd. How about that? Now, here it is. Here it is. They're saying our chances to make the playoffs are 34.8%, and our projected wins are 38.2. Okay. All right. Now, this is the craziest thing. They say all this goofy stuff in here. They say the biggest thing we'll be talking about this season, the Raptors could be the most trick or treat, hard to project team in the Eastern Conference this season. Okay. All right. You're basically admitting you don't know what the fuck you're talking about here. That's good. I like that. It's a premise of like, we don't know how to predict them, so we may be completely wrong. It feels like they've been irrelevant for a long time. See, look at this shade. Unnecessary shade they're just throwing in here. It feels like the Raptors have been irrelevant for a long time. When's the last time your favorite franchise won a championship, bitch? Is what I'm going to say. You're a Knicks fan? Okay, when was the last time your team won a championship? Okay, all right, let me say that real quick. But it's been just 3 losing seasons following a decade-long run of consistency. Okay, you're giving us credit for the Masai and Bobby decade of consistency. Okay, all right. They finally get to see Scotty Barnes and Brandon Ingram play together, and that adds to the intrigue. Will they be a team to watch around the deadline, though? See, so much shade, so much doubt. So much like we don't know what the fuck we're talking about. We're going to leave our options open with what we say so that if they are really good, we don't look really stupid with the receipt here. That's it right there. Biggest strengths. They have wings, long and versatile. Barnes, Ingram, assuming health, always a bullshit. Yeah. RJ Barrett continues his understated consistency. See, this is why NBA people in New York are saying we want RJ back, because ESPN said he has understated consistency, and playing with the smooth Ingram should only help. After being a trade candidate for years, Ingram has a home and can easily score 25 a night. Again, that length, if deployed, can cause headaches for opposing offenses every night. Biggest concern, okay? Health, yes. But in terms of the franchise player, Barnes, there's so much invested in him, but you wonder where his development takes him. His efficiency and shooting have taken a dip, and if the Raptors are to emerge from the muck, he has to take the leap. Okay, I think that's all fair. Bold but realistic prediction. Toronto, this is the thing. They ranked us 23rd, right? Or 22nd. And this is what they fucking say at the bottom of this, man. It's so goofy, man. They said, bold but realistic prediction. Toronto earns a top 6 seed. So they're saying we're a playoff team, but we're 22nd in the league. Math is not mathing here. Once again, math is not mathing here. You say in your simulation we're the 5th best team in the NBA in the East, and now you're saying we're a 6th best team in this article, but you're still ranking us at like the 20s. Something's wrong here, man. Something's wrong here. It's not adding up at ESPN. You're just slighting us to put us down there. Seriously. Let's see. Toronto earns a top 6 seed in terms of sheer talent. The Raptors have one of the best rosters in the Eastern Conference. What? They just said that? And although their ceiling looks low, their floor is a lot higher than those of other injury-decimated rosters in the East. Is that Indiana? Is that Boston? Are you admitting the Raptors have a higher floor because they have a better talent roster than the hurt teams? That's true. And I saw that without your damn bias already. And that's why I've been saying. That's why I did my Eastern Conference rankings the way I did yesterday. Just like that. It's just like that. Let's see. Even a win total in the low 40s could be enough to avoid the play-in tournament. That's what I'm saying. The East this year is going to be more muddled up in the middle. There's going to be a lot of teams that are in the 30s and 40s with win totals this year. And what's going to happen is the Raptors, because they're a supremely talented starting 5 and they're healthy, they will actually outshine a lot of the middling teams in the Eastern Conference and be actually better than them. And that's why I think we're a top 3 Eastern Conference team. It's because most of the teams in the Eastern Conference are middling teams right now. There's no powerhouse. And in some ways, the Raptors are more set up to be a powerhouse in the East than most of these teams. Yeah. Fantasy nugget. In Emmanuel Quickley, Barrett, Ingram, and Barnes, the Raptors are starting 4 players this season who can each have averaged more than 5 assists per game. Don't forget Jakob. He could probably do it too. With 5 players who can create team offense off the dribble, this offense has the potential to be a free-flowing, efficient unit if everything goes as planned. It also suggests that no one on the team is likely to produce strong assist numbers as an individual. since the total dimes will be split 4 ways. Not even 4 ways. You might as well say 7 ways. Put Shed and Jakob and, well, I don't know, Jacoby or somebody from the bench. So, yeah, in some ways, it's so weird. They rank us so low at 22nd, but then they say we're going to be a top 6 Eastern team. Sounds like a weird toxic relationship, doesn't it? Yeah. ESPN, we are weird, man. You are so weird. So weird, man. All right, let's see. I'm going to keep going with this. James is saying, Lex, do you think Ulrich and Bruno Caboclo are the same type of player? That's a good question, James. Of course, Bruno Caboclo was a project, and he was very young when we brought him in. I mean, there are some parallels. There definitely are. I think the timeline for them may be very similar. Sure. I think you're right. Like in some ways, when we drafted Shamshe, some of us were joking. He's like 2 years away from being something because we knew he's a project completely, but we weren't saying he's 2 years away from being 2 years away. It was really kind of, I saw a project for 2 years and then he would probably be a rotation player. So after this year playing for us, I was expecting him to emerge and be more of the on the Raptors team. So it is what it is. Once again, we see what's happened, and well, let's see what happens as thing goes forward. So yeah, let's see. Bruno got better. It just took some time. It took a lot of time. Bruno Caboclo has had a very successful professional career since, not necessarily in the NBA, but definitely for Brazil internationally. But yeah, he's stuck around the NBA. He's had different stints that he's done. So in some ways, it's like, yeah, Bruno isn't totally a bust. And Masai was right when he looked at him, although Masai will call Bruno one of his 3 mistakes. Yeah, one of his 3 mistakes. Now, Masai, you can't call Christian Koloko a mistake if the NBA fitness to play panel stealing him from you. Just like I would not call Shamshe a mistake for you either if we do lose him. Yeah, so we're saying Mets and Yankees fans were desperate for him, big time. Yeah, for Vladdy. Yeah. And they just like, if there's any big free agent that's worth a lot of money, they're trying to get them, whether whoever it is, Soto, Otani, it doesn't matter. The Yankees are going to try and spend to get the best talent, and that's how they win. They pay for it. Pay to play, pay to win, that kind of bullshit. Trevor's saying blood clot is when the blood gets thicker and stop the flow, is too thick to go through. Yeah, that's that's what I've heard. All right, let me keep going in the chat with the stream and different things I want to check out on my tabs. Straight goods on Canadian goods, guys. Let's just go straight up with an easy identifiable brand. In some cases, before I said I wasn't sure if they were still Canadian, even though they advertise as Petro-Canada. Yeah, Petro-Canada is a Canadian gas station, and it gets a 10 out of 10 score on the Canadian list. And feel very okay with gassing up at Petro-Can, guys. So if you have a Petro-Canada near you, go ahead and buy your gas there. The wholly Canadian owned under Suncor with full Canadian refining and retail network. So Petro-Can is doing all their refining of their oil and getting their oil from here. So it really is a great place to fill up your car. So, and there's, of course, locations of Petro-Canada all over Canada. So I'm doing the straight goods on Canadian goods. Fill up at the pump. Do not go to Shell. Do not go to Exxon, which is Esso. Do not go to the companies that are foreign owned. Go to a Canadian oil company like Petro-Canada. And that's my straight goods on Canadian goods today. All right, let's go see the Instagram stories. The Raptors did have their Halloween party last night, guys. And there is a little bit of a sign of it. But first, we got Kyle Lowry golfing in Dubai while the Philadelphia 76ers were over there to play the Knicks for 2 games. Even though the Sixers look bad and they look really awful on the court and the Knicks kicked their ass, Kyle Lowry looked good on the links. He's got out there. He's like, yeah, man, the best rounds are solo rounds, he said, right there to make me look good. And so guys taking pictures of him playing golf by himself in Dubai. And he's saying that, wow, I look good by the pictures. Like I'm a good golfer. Elijah Martin is the one who gave the tell last night that they had the Raptors Halloween party. It was the 6th annual Halloween party, just like other teams have had galas and get-togethers before the season starts. Well, the Raptors had their Halloween party last night, and I wonder if it was at Casa Loma. Not totally sure, but the reason why I know is because Elijah's got a picture. It's like a postcard, and it says the 6th annual Raptors Halloween party, and it was hosted by Grady Dick, Jacoby Walter, and Jamal Shed, and they're on the picture, and I don't know which one is which, but the 3 rookies are Teletubbies. Yeah. Elijah Martin is the green Teletubby. Colin Murray Boyles is the red Teletubby. I think that's Poe. I think that's Poe. And then the yellow one is Chucky Hepburn. So they made them rookies dress up like Teletubbies. Now I don't know if they went to whatchamacallit, to Casa Loma this year. But yeah, the Raptors Halloween party happened last night. I knew it would. I told y'all 2 days ago. It's like they're gonna have their party soon. Toronto Tempo president Teresa Resch is putting on Teresa Resch. Teresa's saying that Mike Vrabel is the coach of one of the NFL teams, and he addressed a female coach first, a female reporter first in the press conference. She likes that. And also, she's really happy about Game 7 tomorrow. It looks like Teresa might have been at the game last night for the Blue Jays. Now, a little WNBA Toronto Tempo note, and I meant to talk about this for the last couple of days, but the Toronto Tempo are intensifying their coach search right now. And it seems like what I'm hearing is their number one candidate to be the coach, the first ever coach of the Toronto Tempo WNBA team, is the former coach of the Liberty, Sandy Brondello. So we'll just have to see if they can land her. She would be great. She's won multiple championships in the WNBA, and also she's available. And well, she's coveted by a couple teams. So she's actually the top candidate for a couple WNBA teams. I don't know if she wants to come and coach here in Toronto with an expansion team. It may be not the easiest challenge, but it would bring a real pedigree of winning to our team. I'm sure people that are familiar with her as Liberty fans would be like, yes or no. Like, you know, anybody who's a big Liberty fan, tell me if you would want their former coach, Sandy, to come and coach our team, because she did just win that championship with the Liberty a couple years ago. And, you know, would she be a good coach for us? There's other names on the list. My top 3 names for the coaches search that I've heard leaked, the names are Sandy. James Wade has been interviewed for it. Yeah, our Coco. Raptors assistant coach James Wade, former GM and head coach of the Chicago Sky, who also won a WNBA championship as a coach, is in the running. I like him as one of my top 3 picks, although I don't think he's going to leave the Raptors to go coach the Tempo. I mean, in some ways, he's already been there, done that, right, with the Sky. And in some ways, he's going forward in the NBA with us and the Raptors. But who knows? Maybe James Wade would go and coach the Tempo. He has been interviewed for it. We can confirm that. And then the third intriguing pick that I'm kind of looking at is the assistant coach under Rick Carlisle for the Pacers, Jenny Busek. She is in the running, and they have interviewed her for the Toronto Tempo job also. There's a list of about 6 or 7 candidates that has been leaked publicly, and those were the 3 that kind of stood out to me: Sandy, Coco, and Jenny. But there may be somebody else, a more learned person about the WNBA, be like, no, Lex, this is who they should get. And if you know, talk to me. Because listen, I may be an expert on the Raptors, but I'm not totally an expert on the WNBA and the Toronto Tempo. And when we start covering them more, I may be leaning more on the knowledge, the general knowledge of the Raptor Freak family on the WNBA more than ever. And that's people like Cool Cat. That's people like Fiercey. That's people like who's somebody else that's really been big on it and watching it really closely. I think, no, not Kareem, but anyway, there's people that are watching and know more about WNBA. Please take the lead is what I'm asking, because I will try and talk. All right, Siakam did something crazy yesterday, y'all. No Sunday banger yesterday, which I was a little sad. It's like, no Sunday banger, Siakam. What's going on? No, he came out with his new Halloween costume for this year, and it's not anything like what he's done in the past. We've seen Nino Brown from New Jack City, Wesley Snipes. We've seen Andre 3000 of Outkast. We've seen McLovin from Super Bad. When he did McLovin, that was crazy, man. That was crazy. No, this year, I don't know, man. This is deep shit. But Siakam has gone as a plague doctor. And if y'all don't know what that is, you know, you see these masks that look like a bird with a beak. Now, see, back in the day when there were plagues, they had doctors would have to go into the plagues to treat people, and they wore these masks to try and not catch the plague. And they're like long cone like masks. He's wearing a really crazy black leather plague doctor costume. You can't see his face at all, and he's wearing like a Walter White hat too. It's crazy, man. Heisenberg hat, yeah. It's crazy, man. Like, it's kind of scary looking. Siakam's Halloween costume. It's very off-putting. Let's just put it that way. And it's totally nothing like the way he do. Like he did 50 Cent, right? He did 50 Cent one year. He did Andre 3000. Now he's doing this crazy shit. I don't know. Either way, Siakam, 10 out of 10, man. You're like the best in the NBA at Halloween. That's just the damn truth. That's just a damn truth. We see Jack Armstrong and Eric Smith were at the game yesterday for the Blue Jays, and they had a ball, man. Jack Armstrong kept going on social media. I'm having so much fun with Eric Smith at the baseball game right now. I love that. I love that those guys have such a deep friendship. They've been working together for a long, long time. Eric Smith is a fantastic guy. Y'all go get We the Raptors, his book. Buy it for a stocking stuffer or a birthday gift for somebody. I know I want it for Christmas myself. So, yeah, having a great time with E. Smith. There you go. Hello, Jack. Y'all go on and see the Blue Jays win and get to a Game 7. Vin Bagnani is reporting that the Gardner Expressway is reopening all lanes by October 27th ahead of schedule. Well, that's good news for commuters in downtown Toronto, that the Gardner will be fully open once again in like a week. So, yeah, Vin's happy about that for his commute to get down there for the Raptors. That's right. Let's see. James Wade, what is he saying on his? He's got reunited. So he's back with his family. He's happy. He's been on the road with the Raptors. He's been away, and he's back with his wife and his kid, and he's happy. That's what I like to see, James Wade. Did you get interviewed by Teresa Resch? I think you did. Lindsey Dunn was at Game 6 looking pretty in pink at the game yesterday. That's right. You got to go to Game 7 today, Lindsey. So get back down to Rogers Center. Gary Trent Jr. has got highlights of the Bucks. Okay, I don't really care about that. Of course, he's a Bucks player. I don't know. Maybe I should stop following him. Somebody else dressed like a Teletubby. Are they making all rookies everywhere dressed like Teletubbies this year? Because the Milwaukee Bucks just embarrassed their rookie, making him walk out in the court in a Teletubby outfit. I don't know what's going on there. Slim Duck's really into that movie, the show From. It's on MGM Plus. He's really into the show, and he's like posting all kinds of clips from the show From. From is the name of it. Yeah, and he's also got this old guy talking about how respect is more important than love. Love is easy. Love is frivolous. Love is something that comes and goes. But having sustained respect for the person that you're with is more important. And that's a very interesting lesson. I think Chris is thinking a lot about this kind of stuff with his relationships in his life. What does he want? Love or respect? I think he wants respect at this point, and that love comes and goes. And a long-term relationship with somebody, respect is more important in some ways. That's right. Let's see what else. Coach Andrew Jones is showing Ava in action against her peers. And it looks like she's going with the left hand down the court, lefty lay. Yeah, I'm telling you, Ava Jones is going to be in the WNBA some days. I already know it. And they're watching the Eagles play. Andrew Jones is an Eagles fan. And him and the kids were kicking back watching NFL action yesterday. That's right. There's Emmanuel Quickly with the Call Me Maybe. It's officially his celebration this year. His celly is going to be, well, listen, maybe, call me maybe. Yeah, and he's going to do it. I think he is. He's very much been putting on blast on his Instagram yesterday that instead of the Skipley, instead of the Dennis Schroeder freeze, no, he's going to do the Call Me Maybe this year. I think that's going to be his go-to celebration this year. It's all a point and evidence to that. That's right. There apparently is a contest this week in Raptors land, guys, and you guys need to find these packs of cards. They have special limited edition Raptors card packs that they have in different places around downtown. And apparently in these packs, there's 5 golden tickets, just like some Willy Wonka shit. Yeah, Willy Wonka shit. So if you can get these Raptors limited edition packs of cards, and they've got all the current guys in there, like Brandon and CMB and, Oshai and Grady and Scotty. Well, there's golden cards in those packs. And if you get the golden card, you get free tickets to the home opener on Friday night against Milwaukee. So get out there, Raptors fans, and get in the city. Find your limited edition Raptors packs and open them up. And maybe you'll get one of the 5 golden tickets and get free tickets to the home opener on Friday against Milwaukee Bucks, a bad team that we're going to kick their ass on Friday night. Watch. I'll predict it right now. We're going to kick the Bucks' ass on Friday night, y'all. Very, very much going to kick their ass. Yeah, Jamal Shed, I don't know. He's with his buddies. He's getting ready for the season. He's just out having fun with his dudes right now. AJ Lawson is on cloud 9. First of all, he dressed up his dog in a Halloween costume and jail stripes. Yeah, and he put a little thing around his neck saying bad pet. And AJ's laughing. He's like, are you being a bad pet? The dog's so cute. I don't know how that dog acts for you, AJ. Maybe he rips up trash. Maybe he causes some problems, maybe pees on stuff. I don't know. But if that dog's being bad, it's so cute, even though. I'll just say that. It's just cute. Savannah Hamilton, Cinderella Stories, Ashley Dawkin, watch it. That's all I got to say. They're clapping each other. They're trying to clap over each other. Like, oh, you want to clap? No, I'm going to clap. Clap, 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 clap. Lots of clapping on Cinderella Stories. Check it out. Check it out. Let's see. Who else we got? Let's see. Jamal McGlore's posted these base basketball team, these girls. They do a celebration on the bench, and they're like jumping on each other, and one of them's riding the other one like a bike. It's kind of crazy. Colin Roy Boyles has revealed in a little thing that they filmed with the rookies that his first ever NBA jersey that he acquired was a Larry Bird Celtics jersey. I mean, I like Larry. I respected that. That's weird that he's the player. I kind of wish you had said Charles Barkley Sixers jersey than Larry Bird Celtics jersey, but it is what it is. Colin Murray Boyles revealing the first jersey he ever had was a Larry Bird Celtics jersey. I don't think that means he wants to be on the Celtics. I think he's just a fan of Larry Bird. There's your Instagram stories for today. Elijah Martin, let us know. He was at Teletubby last night. I'll have to see some more of these Halloween outfits. Of course, Open Gym's going to give us the behind the scenes at some point with their episode. You know they will. You know they will. We'll see that stuff. That's right. All right, let's see where you guys are in the chat, and I'll get all these comments in for sure. Yeah, let's keep going. Chriscom's here. Good morning to Chriscom. Good morning, Lex. How are you feeling about that Atlanta matchup? Atlanta and Trey have always seemed soft, but they did improve this year with defense. Yeah, I think that you're right. I think that Porzingis in some ways will maybe help their defense. I think Nikel's a quality add, but we'll just have to see. Once again, paper will look good for rosters, but reality does not always match up to paper. Philadelphia and Paul George. That's all I'll say. So I'm not believing any of the big acquisitions this year for anybody until we see it and get a length of run. And in some ways, I'm saying that about the Raptors with Brandon too. So we just got to see how these pieces fit around Trey this year and whether it's going to actually work. I have a feeling that it could go either way. It could actually not work, and Trey Young is going to be gone from the Hawks in the next 2 years because they're kind of saying this right now out of Atlanta. Landry Fields and those guys in the front office are saying, Trey, if it doesn't work with you in this edition of the Hawks, we might be moving on from you after this try. Because, they have had Trey Young for so long, and they have not gone anywhere with him. And it may be a change of scenery for Trey Young coming soon if this does not work with them. I fully expect us to kick the Hawks' ass on Wednesday, too. Listen, they don't have their shit together yet. We have our shit more together, and we're going to show that to them when we go to Atlanta on Wednesday. I tell my family in Atlanta, go to the game. Dad, go to the game. Go take my brother and my nephew to the game on Wednesday if you guys can. Seriously, you listen to me right now, Dad. I know you're listening. Call Carl and get tickets to the game on Wednesday night. And go see the Raptors in their home opener against the Hawks down in Atlanta. Hot Atlanta, baby. Let's go. Let's tear up Hot Atlanta. Let's go, Raptors. I know that my nephew had an amazing time when they went to the Hawks game, Raptors game last year. So it's time. And you got to go now because they're going to play now, and they won't play again they'll play both their games in Atlanta in the first month of the season. So if you're in Atlanta and you want to see the Raptors play, you got to go now. You got to go now. That's right. That's right. Wayne's here. Good morning, Sergeant Arms. Wayne's trainer. Thank you for being a important part of this channel. Morning, Raptor Freaks. What are we looking forward to this week, Lex? Well, we got tomorrow, Tuesday trivia on this channel. Hope you will come in and play some trivia with me. And then we got the game opener on Wednesday against the Atlanta Hawks that I was just talking about. And then on Friday, we're going to have the Bucks come in and play the Raptors in home, their first home game of the year. So, yeah, a little bit of Trey Young and Giannis Antetokounmpo coming up. Wayne, that's what we got coming up. That's right. Smooth saying, yep, Eric Smith and Jack Armstrong were at the game last night. They had a blast. And what a fun game to watch. I'm glad they won. I did not watch any of it. Once again, Lex is doing his part. He's making sacrifices for the Blue Jays, and he's not getting to enjoy the games and watch the joy and all the fun of the home runs because I know when I watch the Blue Jays, they start losing. So thank Lex for not turning on the fucking TV and trying to watch them at any point, because in some ways I've wanted to so bad, guys. I've wanted to so bad, but I did the same thing in 2015 when we had Donaldson and that crew. I started watching them, and as soon as I started watching them, they started losing. They went out. So I'm not making the same mistake. They're getting so far. I am not going to turn that TV on today, even though it's a game 7. It's going to be historic. It's going to be amazing. It's going to be a fun game to watch. I wish I could, but I'm got to make my sacrifices. We all make sacrifices for the team, don't we? Well, this is how I'm doing it, guys. And somebody's, don't cry for me, Argentina. I just want them to win. I don't care if I see it. That's right. I just want them to win. That's a real fan right there. I'm telling you. Kaz saying, good morning, Lex and Raptor Freak Crew. Good morning to you, Trucker Kaz, our WNBA fantasy champion. Canada Post has opened up a little bit. I might try and go to the Canada Post today and mail your trophy today because they are starting to move mail again up here. So, yeah, Trevor's leaving for Atlanta tonight because he will be going to the game on Wednesday, the home opener against the Hawks in Atlanta. No, the home opener for the Hawks against the Raptors in Atlanta. And Trevor J is going to make the trip from Florida to Georgia to come and support our Raptors on the road. And I appreciate you for that, Trevor. I do. He's saying also $90 million for a craft dinner is crazy. Yeah, this was a big news yesterday. And it really is weird, man. $90 million, $45 million a year, 2-year extension for Kevin Durant in Houston. I think that some of the criticism that people are coming at him is like, how is this team friendly? It's not. And I'll say this, if Houston is like idiots that they want to do this, go ahead. Where's the track record? Do you guys look at the average games played for players before you invest in them? Seriously. Some people say, well, what about us, Lex, with the Brandon Ingram? We invested in an extension on him without him even playing for us, just like Houston just did for Kevin Durant. Yeah, I know, but Brandon Ingram's way younger than Kevin Durant. And we don't even know. I'm just saying, I felt like Kevin Durant had one foot out of the league and wanting to retire since Brooklyn. Not even like in Phoenix or anything, but this man's going to go ahead and re-up and get a $45 million a year extension. He got Fred's contract. He got Fred's contract now. He got Fred's money. Fred got downgraded $25 million a year, and now Kevin's getting the $45 million a year. I don't know. I don't agree with this. You have such young talent, and you got different players on your team, Houston, that are going to need to get paid in the next couple of years because they're coming up as youngsters, and you're going to mess it up by holding on to an old guy like that. I think this is a big, huge mistake, this extension that Houston just signed with Kevin Durant, and they're going to pay for it because he's going to be sitting in street clothes on the bench, and he won't even be playing. You go ahead and waste some money, just like the Clippers do on Kawhi Leonard. You go ahead. It's a crazy deal. It's totally a crazy deal, Seymour. I think it's a big mistake by them. I really, really do. All right, let's see. What else do we got? Let's see. Does Raptors Reddit have any other stuff I want to talk about? They're talking about the Portland Trailblazers signed up a couple of their players on new deals, including Shaedon Sharpe, who got a 4-year, $90 million extension. That's pretty fair. Tamari Kamara got a 4-year, $82 million extension. You know, there's somebody got a bad trade on here. They want the Raptors to get Darius Garland and Derek White, and they would trade Emmanuel Quickley and Grady Dick and a second-round pick to the Cavs. What? And the Celtics would get RJ Barrett and 3 of our picks. What? Why are we giving up 4 picks, RJ Barrett, Emmanuel Quickley, and Grady Dick to get Darius Garland and Derek White? Who put this in? And why did we have to do this to become an Eastern Conference contender? You're an idiot. Whoever made this trade. I don't want 2 short guards for losing those guys. Yeah. This guy's trying to say, okay, if you're the Raptors, you certainly take this. What a great deal. If you're Boston, you take. If you're Cleveland, no. These people are idiots. This is so dumb, man. This is so dumb. I don't know why people put this kind of crap on Reddit. Seriously, I just need to ignore it. I need to ignore it. Like, who the fuck would do that deal? That's so many picks we're giving up, and RJ and Emmanuel and Grady, just to get Derek White and Darius Garland. Why would you say, oh, the Raptors definitely do this? No, we don't. I don't value those 2 players more than the 3 players that are leaving. Derek White, he's tough and he's physical, but I don't believe he's an all-star just because they pumped him up and make him seem like an all-star. And even Darius Garland's got his own issues. He's hurt half the time, and he's also a small guard. I don't want to do this deal. It's so stupid, man. So stupid. All right, let me just keep going. I forget about you, Reddit. You're kind of stupid right now. I'll just put that. Let's see. We got birthdays today, guys. Happy birthday. A few guys. Let's say happy birthday first to Javon Freeman Liberty, who has turned 26 today. He, of course, is in the NBL now. Javon Freeman Liberty is playing in Australia for Tasmania. I believe he's playing for Tasmania. So, yeah, that's where Javon is now. He's over in the NBL in Australia. Happy birthday, Javon Freeman Liberty, former Raptor. Also, happy birthday to Rodney Hood. You guys remember Rodney Hood? He was on our team around 2021 Well, currently, where is Rodney Hood right now? He's not doing anything. He's not playing basketball or anything. Looks like he's retired. So happy birthday to Rodney Hood, who has turned 33 today. Also, a happy birthday to former Raptor Dominic McGuire. Dominic McGuire played for the Raptors in 2012-13. He played for 1 year, only 15 games for the Raptors. He averaged about 2 points. Yeah, Dominic McGuire, happy birthday to you. How old is he? He's turning 40 today. Happy 40th birthday to Dominic McGuire. So 3 Raptor birthdays today. Javon Freeman Liberty, Rodney Hood, and Dominic McGuire. There, yeah, boom goes the dynamite. All right, let's see. Yeah, Fiercey's saying that's wild, Trevor. The Raptor Freak ambassador, enjoy hot Atlanta. That's great. No, he told us the other day he was going to go to Atlanta and go to the game for the first game of the season. And I'm really happy we're represented. That's the important thing. All right, let's go do the classic card. Y'all get your questions in while you can, because you know the classic card is near the end. Now, yesterday I was really trying to get the classic card done quick, but it was what it was. I was under a time limit, and I had to get out of here. So, all right, full name answer. First person to write the full name answer gets the trivia point. So let's see if you can get this one with no problems here. It's a newer mosaic card, Panini, but it's not really that new because this is not current, that's for sure. So, yeah, Derrick Rose is right. James knows that's Derrick Rose in a New York Knicks jersey. Just ahead of Kaz on the list for me. So it's an easy card. So I'm going to give James 50 points for the classic card of the day. Derrick Rose, of course. I think he retired, didn't he? Did he retire? I think he did. I think he did retire. All right, Derrick Rose. It's James. James getting the classic card. 50 points. 50 points. All right, y'all. Like I said, tomorrow's going to be Tuesday trivia. So if you like to play Raptors trivia, well, I'll have it for you. Come on over and come on down and try and play some trivia. You know, you're going to need that full name answer. Remember that. Yeah, you got 50 points. Yeah, 50 points just for that. It's an easy card. Yeah, he retired. He did retire. Yeah. All right. Once again, congratulations to AJ Lawson on your 2-way contract. It's really nice to have security and feel that. You know, there was a time this summer where AJ went to Taco Fest and he was advertised as NBA player, not Toronto Raptor. And it made me sad because it made me remember AJ's on a non-guaranteed contract currently, and there's no guarantees he's going to be on the Raptors this year. Well, even though he got cut on Thursday and it was tough, you know, I kind of really agree with how the Raptors handled that, because in some ways, you know, they cut them all clean all at once. And in some ways, it's like, yeah, we don't think that any of you guys are necessarily better than each other. We're just going to go ahead and cut all of y'all. And it's like, okay. But then they circle back and get AJ after that. In some ways, it's like not totally the same as just like cutting 3 guys and saying, yeah, this is the guy we're picking. Does that make sense? But I'm just really happy that he has guarantee now because he's in the fold on a 2-way and he will be on the Raptors this year. That was the whole point of this. I do really feel like Bobby Webster and MLSE would be smart to have a certain percentage of Canadian content on our roster. There's no excuse for not having Canadian players on the Toronto Raptors. There's a prevalence of Canadian players more than ever in the league, and it would be just stupid if they didn't have the marketing around some Canadian players on our team. You know, our heights of having Canadian players, we've had 3 or 4 at times. Well, right now we have 2. And you know what? I don't want to lose either one of them. So AJ, RJ, true Canadian content for the Raptors. Let's go, hometown heroes. That's right. So happy to see AJ back. And of course, the friendship between those 2 guys is real and has been going for many, many years. These guys were childhood friends too. You got to realize they're really the same age. And RJ and AJ have been around each other since they were kids. So it is a really special thing. In some ways, it's very similar to Jonathan and Scotty. So, yeah, let's go. 2 more sleeps before tip-off. That's right. Get ready for that season, MJ. Counting it down. That's right. Counting it down. All right, y'all. I'll see you guys tomorrow. Oh, wait, what's she saying? Last comment from me. What I like about our front office is that we never know what they'll do. Unpredictable, but I trust their decisions. Well, I know some of their basic philosophies, and Bobby actually kind of espouses and tells them, Masai before, I know some of their basic philosophies and kind of the way they look at how to do GMing. So you can kind of predict them to a degree. But the thing that's different now is with Masai gone and Ed Rogers and MLSE in charge is they are moving different now. They did have a certain way that they worked with Ujiri and Webster in tandem and Tannenbaum as the main kind of deciding owner. But there is something different that has switched in the middle of summer this year with the change in ownership to Rodgers and the dismissal of Masai Ujiri. So we'll just have to see how we keep moving forward each step of the way and analyze it and be on top of it. And nothing will get by us. Seriously, nothing will get by us. We're watching you, Keith Belly. And we want the Raptors to win, just like the Blue Jays. We want everybody to win. And, let's go. Let's go, Blue Jays. Get game 7 today. That's what we're all about today. So I hope everybody enjoys watching the Blue Jays game because they win and they're going to the World Series to play against Ohtani and the Dodgers. Woo-wee! That would be so awesome. I want to see it today. Let's go. All right, y'all. I'll see y'all tomorrow. Thank you for watching today. Thank you for subscriptions. Thank you for supporting this channel, members. And I'll be back tomorrow. You can become a member yourself. Just sign up. You get access to our Discord server, which during the game, I'm inside of it and talking about the game. In fact, I'm on the voice chat. You can talk to me directly through the voice. We have our Facebook group also that's run by the super fan, Monique Lawrence. And if you want to hang out in there and talk to her during the game, you can do that too. There's a lot of interesting access you get if you become a member of the channel, and including possibilities to play fantasy basketball with us next year and stuff like that. All right. I appreciate everybody. Get out there and have a great day. And let's go Blue Jays. Let's go Raptors. And let's go Toronto. Let's win today, Blue Jays. Really, really putting a lot of energy behind y'all to win. I'll see y'all tomorrow. Let's go Blue Jays. Woo! Let's beat them. Beat those Mariners. That's right. Let's go Raptors too. Let's go.